Well, hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Laurie and it's time to set the first autumn TBR for the month of September, and I'm so freaking excited because I've already started thinking about books that I want to prioritize reading in autumn that I feel like are incredibly autumn slash fall coded. I'm just really excited. I love the cozy vibes that autumn brings, and it always feels like the perfect reading months, autumn and winter. So I have already started thinking about the books that I want to read. I do have a lot of new releases coming out in September. September is a crazy month for releases. It's just I don't even know how I'm going to read all these books. But as per usual, I'm going to pick 6 TBR prompts from the TBR jar, and that is going to pick what I read in the month. But because it is the first TBR for the month of fall and I've already started thinking about the books I want to read and realised that I have so many, this TBR is going to be a slightly longer one. So I'm going to pick 3 books that I want to prioritise myself and also 3 new releases that I want to prioritise. But I'm going to pick the 3 books that I want to prioritise first, then do the TBR jar, and then at the end pick the 3 new releases that I'm going to prioritise that weren't picked by TBR prompts. So that's how we're going to do this. It's going to be 12 books long, which the likelihood that I read all of those is probably not going to happen because I'm a mood reader. So, you never really know. But it just gives me more options, and I just really want to read all these books that I have in my brain. Okay, so these are the 3 books that I want to prioritize that have been calling out my name, that I've been really looking at recently. So the first book is A Liar's Twisted Tongue by Caroline Cusinelli. This is a now completed trilogy, and if you follow me on TikTok, I have been saying that I want to prioritize more completed series because I'm sick to death of cliffhangers. I honestly can't take one more cliffhanger because I think I might just... Anyway, this is a completed trilogy, which means I don't have to wait for any other books that are going to come out in this world. And this has been on my TBR for well over a year. I don't even want to think about how long this has been on my TBR for, but it's finally time that I do read it. I believe this is book 1 in the Fated Blood trilogy, and it says, her magic is a curse, his alliance is a gamble. Together they could either save the world or destroy it. I've heard really, really good things, which is what prompted me to pick this up. And then I don't know what caused me to then have it on my TBR for over a year, but it was, and it's going to come off. So this is definitely the one of the books that I want to get to. It also feels like such an incredibly cozy read. So I think the stakes are going to be high on this one, and I think I'm going to really, really love it. Ever since I finished Stillborn, I'm really looking for books that are going to make me feel the way that book did. Like back in my Throne of Glass, Lady of Darkness, Blood and Steel days, incredibly immersive world, really high stakes, constant action, war, like so many moving parts. I just want more books like that. The second book I want to pick is The Witch in the Dead of Night by Charlotte Buckley. This was my August Fairly Romancy book pick, and although I know next to nothing about this book and it wasn't even on my radar until it got delivered to my house, when I saw this hardcover, I was like, this has to be read as soon as possible because this cover is simply stunning and I need to know these characters. I need to know this world. This looks like a really fun, good read. I have no idea what it's about. There's also dragons on the sprayed edges, so if there's dragons on this, I absolutely have to read it. But the hardcover does give me incredible October vibes. And while it would make sense to hold off to read this in October in the perfect setting, I don't think I can wait that long. So it is indeed getting read in September. And then last but not least, What Darkness Brings by Jenna Wolfhart. I have been wanting this for quite a while since I saw a few booktokers talking about it that I just... Their recs are like holy grails to me because I always seem to find 5-star books from their recommendations, and when they started raving about this one, I was like, absolutely, I do have to read this. It's Jamie and Miranda on BookTok, and they loved this, and I was like, I've read Jenna Wolfhart's 2 previous works of Mist and Shadow Quartet and Bad Blood, which is her Greek mythology vampire retelling. Absolutely phenomenal. And so I feel like this is going to give me what Bad Blood gave me, and I've been dying for the release of the sequel, and though it's nowhere close to coming out, I need more from her. I love the way she writes her books. So I'm really, really excited about this. It says, the gods are dead, the stars have vanished, and the order controls all magic. So this sounds just chef's kiss. Anyway, those are the... Jeez, that's my phone. Those are the 3 books that I want to try and prioritize in the month of September. And now we are going to pick from the TBR prompts. First, before I do that, I am going to tell you all my pre-orders that are coming in September, and that way it may help be picked by some of the prompts. So I'm just going to go to my Waterstones account, because I pre-order everything from Waterstones, to be honest. Okay. Oh god, I have so many. Okay. Book number 1 is Blightfall by Brandon Sanderson. This is his newest release in the world of Skyfall. This is his spin-off series. I think he's co-writing this with someone. I probably won't get to this in September, but I do love the world of Skyward. But I do need to reread the series. I've been planning on doing a reread, but it's just there's so many books to reread. I just don't ever have time. So I will wait until I do my reread of the Skyward series before I join Blightfall. And while it is like, it's only book 1, so I'm not in a rush to do it, because the other books are nowhere close to being released. Although with Brandon Sanderson, it probably won't be a year. Like, he puts out books like I would not believe, and his books are like masterpieces. I don't know how he does it. Okay, book number 2 is Scion by James Islington. This is his newest sci-fi release. I have heard so many good things by The Will of the Many. Although I haven't read that book yet, I do love sci-fi books so much. So I'm probably going to get to this in October. I doubt I'll get to this in September with all the sequel releases that are coming out. On the 1st of September, we also have... Oh, by the way, those 2 were also on the 1st of September. Also on the 1st of September, it's The Knave and the Moon by Rachel Gillig. This is the sequel to The Night and the Moth. This is her newest series, and if you know Rachel Gillig, she writes the best gothic fantasy, and there's no way in which that I don't read this in the same month that it does release. So this is definitely going to be a book I need to read. On the 17th of September, there is Massive by Garrick Nix. This is another sci-fi book. I went a bit crazy with the sci-fi pre-ordering last month, and they're all coming out in September. Don't know what it is about September and sci-fi releases, but there is a lot of them coming out. So I don't know if I'm going to get to this, but I have pre-ordered it. Also on the 17th of September is Turncloak by L.K. Stevens. I am planning on rereading Silvercloak in the month of September, and then immediately picking up Turncloak, and I'm so excited to be it. I'm scared and worried and feeling a whole lot of emotions, but most excited. Most predominant one is excitement for this release, because Silvercloak ended up being one of the best things I've ever read, and I have so many feelings attached to that book, so I'm really, really excited about Turncloak. Another highly anticipated release is The Wretched Divine by Adeline Grace. This is her newest release, and it's her new adult debut novel. Belladonna is my god tier YA duology. I love that duology so much. I never read the spin-off, like the continuation books in the same world, but that duology is like god tier to me. I love it so much. So when she announced that she was going into the new adult genre, I was like, immediately anticipated release, immediate pre-order, and the cover for this is stunning, like flawless. So I'm really, really excited about that. Also on the 22nd of September, we have The Sweetest Fiend by Raven Kennedy. I know something about this book that I'm really, really excited about. So this is it's told to be a Pied Piper reimagining, I think, which is very intriguing and very, very unique. So I'm very, very excited about this premise and how she's kind of crafted this world around it. So I can't wait for this release. On the 24th of September, we have The Emperor's Enemy by Jasmine Mars. This book is going to be devoured in one sitting, so this is going to be such an easy read to knock off the TBR, although having to then wait for the next book is going to be torture. So I don't think I'll be too mad if I don't read it as soon as it's in my hands, because don't know how I'm going to feel about the cliffhanger from that. Also, on the 8th of September, we have Sorrows and Strangers by Jeanette Rose and Alexis Rune. If again you follow me on TikTok, I've been ranting and raving about Blood and Betrayals since I read it, what, 2 years ago or a year ago? A very, very long time ago. So the fact that we have the sequel literally in just a week and a half, flawed. Can't actually compute. But this is a book that I absolutely have to read as soon as it's in my hands. I do want to reread Blood and Betrayals and annotate, so how I'll get that done with every other thing else I'm going to read, I don't know, but it's definitely a priority for me. There are a couple of other releases that I haven't pre-ordered that I do want to read. I'm not so excited about, I think Threshing Day is not coming out until October. I know it is coming out in September. I'm not really excited about Threshing Day, which is the series of novellas in the world of Fourth Wing. I will have it, I will buy it, but I'm not excited to read that as soon as it's in my hands. Like, that's something I'll probably read closer to the release of the fourth book in the Fourth Wing series, because there's such a long wait in between books. I also really, really want to read Runebreaker. Okay, so those are all the pre-orders that I am looking forward to. Let's pick our first book prompt. I need to update these prompts. I still haven't done that. God, I have to do that. Okay. Read a book that's been on your TBR for over a year. That would have been, I think I know what's been on my TBR for over a year that I am actually eyeing up, because the second book is due to come out soon. Okay, a book that's been on my TBR for over a year is The Silversmith by L.J. Claren. This came out in 2025. I believe the sequel is called The Incendiary, and it's coming out on the 8th of September. I'm telling you, the releases that are coming out in September is just insane. So I think this is the perfect time to be picking up, because then I can just dive in straight into book 2. So the first book pick is The Silversmith by L.J. Claren. Book prompt number 2 is pick a standalone book. Do I even have any standalone books? I feel like I don't. I believe this is a standalone, so I'm going to add it to my TBR. It's been on my TBR for a very long time. This is a YA book. I don't know if I'm going to love this, because it's like I said, it is a YA, and I don't typically love YAs, but I think this is really interesting, because I think there's got like monsters in here, and she's a fighter, and she then has to become a bodyguard to repay her debt. I don't know, something like that, but it sounds really interesting. I think someone's trying to kill her as well, so that's kind of my type of thing. So I guess we'll see if this is as good as I think it's gonna be. Okay, book 2 is picked. Now for book prompt number 3. A book by an author I love. That's so easy. I'm gonna pick To Dance with Death by Brittany Arena. Because I love her book. I love the way she writes her books and how just beautiful and heart-wrenching it is. And also it's a sequel that I really need to read. I don't know how many books are projected to be in this. I don't know if it's a duology. I think it is a duology. But either way, I've been eyeing up this book for quite a while since it's been in my hand. So it's definitely a book that I do really want to read quite quickly. So we're going to add it to the TBR. So this is the third book picked, To Dance with Death by Brittany Arena, the sequel to A Dance of Lies. I don't know if I need to reread the first book. I don't think I do. Anyway, the fourth book prompt is read a book you recently bought. So recently bought, can I count pre-orders? Because I recently pre-ordered them. Does that count? I don't know. Do you know what? We're going to do another sequel. We're going to do In the Wake of the Ruined by Kaylee Cassidy. This is the sequel to In the Veins of the Drowning. I'm trying to stop being in the middle of so many book series, so I think this is a great thing, a great book to pick. I read In the Wake of the Ruined in one sitting, and I feel like it's going to be the same for the sequel. I do feel like I might need to reread the first book, to be quite honest, because I remember vague parts of it. But I do love this. Oh, I do remember. Yeah, it's coming back to me now. Yeah, I love the FMC in this because the way it starts off, she's in a really difficult position, and as we're going along, her eyes are being awakened to her position and the situation she's been left with and how actually powerful she truly is. So I'm very excited about this one. Okay, so book 4 is In the Wake of the Ruined by Katie Cassidy. Okay, 2 more book picks to go. Okay, book pick number 5. A hyped book I'm scared to pick up. Ooh, I feel like we could do pre-orders for this because some of the pre-orders have been really hyped by early ARC reviewers. So I think, okay, there is 3 options that have been highly hyped, and that is The Wretched Divine, The Emperor's Enemy, and The Sweetest Fiend. Which one do I want to read first? I think it has to be The Wretched Divine. Yeah, I think I'm going to read The Wretched Divine because some of my favourite book talkers and book YouTubers have been like hyping this book up since they received ARCs for this, and it screams like it's going to be a book that's going to absolutely destroy me. So the 5th book pick is going to be The Wretched Divine by Idalyn Grace. It's set to be released on the 22nd of September. So hopefully I get it in time to actually be able to read it in September. But I guess we'll see. I mean, even if I do start it in September and it goes into October, then I think that still counts. Okay, the 6th and final book pick is... I'm going to try and pick a blue one. Oh, that was on me. Pick a book that continues a series you're in the middle of. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. I know what it's going to be. I'm going to pick Sorrows and Strangers by Jeanette Rose and Alexis Rune because it's a book that I absolutely have to read in September, and that way it does get picked and it's on the official TBR. So the 6th and final TBR book pick is Secrets and Sorrows by Jeanette Rose and Alexis Rune. This is the sequel to Blood and Betrayals. I'm so excited. To me, Blood and Betrayals is 10 times better than Zodiac Academy. While I liked Zodiac Academy, I love Blood and Betrayals. Like, that book is god tier, character driven story, and I'm so excited to... I'm like feral for this book. I've waited so long for it, especially with the way it ended. I wasn't mad about the way it ended because I'm obviously rooting for something else, which I feel like a lot of readers might be rooting for, but I'm intrigued to see how it's going to go about and how she's going to deal with everything. But yeah, I'm so excited for this book. I think it's been picked up traditionally, but I don't know if it's... I should probably check. I didn't want to pre-order it because I really wanted to go to Waterstones and pick it up. It's not set to be released until the 8th of October. Why did I think it was September? Oh no. Okay, so I can't pick Sorrows and Strangers. We're going to do The Knave and the Moon by Rachel Gillig. This is the sequel to The Night and the Moth, which I already mentioned. I remember everything that happened in The Night and the Moth like I read it yesterday. And I'm really looking forward to this sequel because I'm really hoping that the character's decisions that she made in The Night and the Moth will make more sense in The Knave and the Moon, because I feel like the way she made the decisions didn't really make sense for the situation she was in and how she was still developing as a person, and after the way she was brought up, I feel like she had so much more exploration she should be able to do before she made certain decisions, but she didn't. So I'm intrigued to see how those decisions, whether she sticks by them or whether she changes and develops more, I don't know, but I'm really looking forward to seeing that. I don't think I need to pick 3 pre-orders to read now that I've picked my TBR, because The Sweetest Fiend and Jasmine Mouse's newest release, The Emperor's Enemy, is coming out towards the end of September. And with the other books being released at the end of September, I feel like it's going to be really difficult to get to them. So they will either get read by the end of September or they'll get pushed into October, which is absolutely fine. So I've picked my massive stack of books that I want to read for the month of September, bar the 2 books that are pre-ordered and coming. But I feel like this is a phenomenal stack, and I feel like this just gives me so many options. They're all so different from each other, and I feel like there's a lot of surprises in here as well, from authors that I've never read from before, and then from authors that I have and loved. So I'm really, really looking forward to September. It can't come fast enough. We're still a few days out from September. So I really, really hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry if this was long-winded and I was talking too much, but I'm just really, really excited for September. But please like, comment and subscribe. Let me know what books you're really anticipating for the second half of 2026, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.